Jeremy, congratulations on the result. What did you make of your team's performance today?
I think we played well. We controlled the game from the start to the end. Obviously, you always have to be careful for the counter-attacks. We know that they have players that are quick and always look to run in behind. But we managed them well, and we kept the clean sheet as well. So, nice job.
And how do you feel now? It's approaching April. You're playing for Man City, the team that won the treble. As a young man, do you feel settled? Do you feel happy? Do you feel like you're playing some good football?
Yeah, I'm happy, of course. We're winning a lot of games. Now I see we play also Champions League against Real Madrid. So these are all things that, like 1 year before, I didn't dreamed of. So now we are doing it. So I'm very happy with the football. We are winning games as well. I'm playing a lot of games, so couldn't be happier.
Yeah, it was a difficult game for us. I thought Manchester City were very good, and with their style of play, we were trying to upset their rhythm and stop them building attacks from the back. But they have a few tools that they use to try and stop that. And yeah, difficult game. Didn't help with the 2 goals because at the early stage of the game you thought we were okay, and then of course the first one takes a big deflection and flies in the top corner, and that sort of sums up our luck at the moment.
Were they unlucky?
I mean, I'm sorry, but Manchester City look good, yeah, because you made them look good. You sat off. You played 3 at the back, which was 5 at the back, and yeah, he talks about deflections. Well, we're unlucky with deflections. Well, when you drop that deep, and by the way, when the first one goes in, Fabian Schär is on the 6-yard line, almost holding hands with the goalkeeper, not far off it from the second one. So when you play a back, they actually played a back 3, which turned into a back 5. Murphy played right wing back, Burn played left wing back, 3 big centre backs in there, basically going to the Etihad and trying, in an FA Cup quarterfinal, trying not to get battered. Yeah. We had that real chance we showed from Alexander Isak's, but I mean, the only thing that got Man City wet today wasn't sweat from work rate, it was the Manchester weather, just raining, because it was a canter, a cakewalk.
It's interesting, Shaq, because Leicester are playing Chelsea tomorrow. For Leicester, their main goal is promotion. That's what they care about. So if they went to Manchester City and lost 2-0, it wouldn't be the end of the world because they've obviously got promotion.
Yeah.
Newcastle have got nothing else going on in their lives at the moment. Yet you wouldn't think it going into this time.
This was their season. You wouldn't think it, seeing how they performed. And I'll be honest, after the game, I was a little concerned, and I think very highly of Eddie Howe, but I was concerned that this is how that game would have been spun. That we lost 2-0, it was 2 deflected goals. Ortega had 1 really good save to make. It wasn't that bad. But the truth is, anybody who watched the game from beginning to end, it was. And then to Eddie Howe's comments that they were trying to stop Manchester City playing on from the back, so you play 5 at the back and sit at the top of your own box. I just don't understand it. I don't understand the explanation. Listen, if your plan is to come and sit deep, and because they don't have Kevin De Bruyne, you're hoping that he can't expose you. Say that. I don't understand the explanation as offered today. From a Newcastle perspective, it was disappointing on a number of levels, because I'm not sure where that goal was going to come from. And yes, Isak had a good chance, but that's 1 chance on target in the whole game. Other than that, I can't really say where City were troubled, at what point Newcastle really took their foot off the gas or took chances. It's an FA Cup tie. Goal difference doesn't come into this. But at no point did I think Newcastle took chances to get themselves back in the game. Again, this is their season. They're going to finish mid-table. They're not in any trouble of getting to the top 4, top 5, whatever it is. They're in no trouble of finishing in the bottom 3. This is do or bust here. And it was a desperately poor bust, in my opinion.
If I'd seen a Championship side go there and play like that in an FA Cup quarter-final, maybe I could have accepted it.
Yeah.
And Coventry City was a great story today. We'll get to that, going to Wolves, not City, but going to Wolves and winning. I actually think they would have made a better fist of a game at the Etihad than Newcastle. And Newcastle were in the Champions League this season. OK, it's been a roller coaster, been a bumpy ride for them. But you look at the side that head out today; they've still had good players, and they saw what Liverpool did with a kind of second-string team last week. They were the better side against City because they didn't set off them. And yeah, they were at home, they were at Anfield, But they went at City and they asked questions, and my God, City were flustered and ruffled. I'm like, Newcastle, it looked to me today that Eddie Howe had said, listen, we're expected to get knocked out. If we do, just make sure it's not by 5 or 6.
For City, it was almost like a training game.
It was. And Newcastle played their part in that. Back five sat basically at the top of your own box for the entire game. City just were able to pass the ball around freely and take their time in doing that without any real pressure. At no point did Newcastle step up and apply pressure and make them think twice about what decisions were being made in midfield. And so it really just kind of panned out into this boring team. And the disappointing thing is, if it's 1-0 and you say, okay, we're containing them and we're going to hurt them on a set piece because we have size and physicality about us. But from the time the second goal goes in, you now have to press. You can't rely on 2 late set pieces. Surely not. But at no point do I think Newcastle did that. And that for me was a huge disappointment. And to Craig's point, when you talk about Newcastle over the last couple of seasons, how well they started, the Champions League, and we've spoken about Liverpool, we've spoken about Spurs, and how even when they had injuries, their identity never changed. You could criticize, at times, people were tempted to criticize Postecoglou in particular for how he just continued to go about his business the same way. Newcastle regressed, and even as players became fit again, you never saw them try to rediscover that form or the style of play that brought success last season. And